Allow me to start our engagement by introducing myself to you. My name is Rosetti Nabbumba, currently serving as the president of the African Evaluation Association, AFREA. This is a regional body which is the umbrella of VOPEs in Africa. I'm a Ugandan by origin, so I'm sharing my story with you from the capital city, Kampala. Our learning module in this video is themed around the history and context of evaluation in Africa, with a specific focus on the strategic role and challenges faced by VOPs. Let me start by giving some information about the historical perspective. The history of evaluation and the growth of VOPs in Africa is strongly intertwined with the development path of AFREA. Whereas evaluation has been practiced in Africa for more than 4 decades, there was no regional body to convene and galvanize the actors to promote the evaluation profession on the continent in unity until the formation of AFREA in 1999. Our history of growing the evaluation agenda in Africa started with UNICEF supporting the founding of the first evaluation network in Africa, the Nairobi M&E network. And this was followed by 5 other networks that held the first AFREA conference in 1999. It is the leaders of these associations who came together and formed the first executive of AFREA in 1999, and that's how AFREA came to be. So with the secretariat in Accra, Ghana, AFREA serves as the umbrella body of more than 39 voluntary organizations for professional evaluation, which I'll refer to as VOPEs in Africa. It also is an umbrella for 12 institutional members and about 80 individual members. So some of you might be asking, so what is this animal called AFREA? The AFREA vision, the AFREA vision is an Africa rooted in a culture of evaluation for equitable and sustainable development. And our mission is to promote robust evaluation practice throughout our members in Africa. So our objectives are to support the evaluations that contribute to real and sustained development in Africa. We are also promoting, as AFREA, Africa-rooted and Africa-led evaluation through sharing African evaluation perspectives. We encourage, as AFREA, the development and documentation of high-quality evaluation practice and theory. We do support the establishment and growth of VOPEs, and this is why we are having this conversation. This type of work, all these objectives, we meet through many avenues, but one of them is holding regional international conferences. And over the period since 1999, we have held 10 conferences. The last one was held just in March 2022. And these conferences help us, it's like the unique platform for networking, knowledge sharing, capacity development for our members, funders, partners, and other evaluation stakeholders. And so we use the conferences to promote and advocate for AFREA's Made in Africa approach to evaluation. For example, through our conferences, the African Evaluation Guidelines were adopted at the 2002 AFREA conference. And then in 2007, we adopted the African Evaluation Journal, growing more platforms for our community to record and document emerging evaluation theories and practices. So in 2007, the Made in Africa concept was brought on board by the then AFREA president, Dr. Sule Galiba. And the journal that was produced at that time was part of the efforts to promote Made in Africa approach. So we have come a long way. Since then, the theory and practice in Africa has grown, and we have since changed the African evaluation guidelines to become the African evaluation principles, and these were launched at the March 22 conference. And because of the work that has gone on over the years on the Made in Africa approaches, we recognized our own Dr. Sule Galiba, who passed away, and we started an inaugural Sule Galiba Memorial Lecture on Made in Africa at our Pioneer Virtual Conference in March. Now, that is kind of in a nutshell. There's so many things around the history, but we can keep it at that. I would like to talk about the strategic role of VOPEs, and I'll look at it from two dimensions, the regional being AFREA and then the national. AFREA is the regional VOPE, which has undertaken several activities to promote the growth of evaluation in Africa, and I'll give you examples. For instance, we've had peer-to-peer learning exchanges between countries, between associations in countries in Kenya, Burundi, Ghana, Zimbabwe, Uganda, and Tanzania. We have also had efforts for capacity building where AFREA partnered with USAID, West Africa's Evidence for Development, which is called E4D, and provided online tutorials leading to certification in monitoring and evaluation. And we have also had evaluation research for young and emerging evaluators. We have since 2019 a grant from the US Department of State Bureau of Democracy, Human Rights and Labor, where we are implementing a capacity building and research project in Tanzania and Cameroon to support locally driven forms of applied research and evaluation. And the work is still going on, and we hope to select another about 3 VOPEs to benefit. So this shows you what the kind of work and roles that VOPEs play. I would like to also add that AFREA is participating in the Eval Action Campaign that calls upon all actors everywhere to accelerate the delivery of sustainable development goals. And so we are part of the global movement. What else? I would also like to show you, and I was explaining from the regional perspective, AFREA and Eval partners have a collaboration to build a national evaluation capacities in Africa. And we are doing that with RIS in Cote d'Ivoire and in Ethiopia with the Ethiopian Evaluation Association. We are collaborating with the young and emerging evaluators. And so one of the roles has been to grow the young people also to appreciate the profession. And we have done this through establishment of the AFREA network. So in all these endeavors, we have worked closely. We like to recognize that you cannot do this type of work without other partners. We have had partners in the UN system like UNICEF, UNFPA, UNDP, and we have also had USAID, Bill and Melinda Gates, MasterCard Foundation, USDA's, Conrad Hilton Foundation, African Capacity Building Foundation, the African Development Bank, Clear AA, Clear FR, and 3IE. So these people have played a key role, plus Twenebere, in making sure that we all collaborate across the continent to have these efforts implemented. Now, I would like also to share with you that at the VOPE level, we have had a study which we jointly undertook in 2021 between the Center for Learning on Evaluation and Results Anglophone Africa, that is CLEAR AA and AFREA. We commissioned a discussion paper, and I would like to use that to show you the strategic role of VOPEs. The findings we had in that showed that VOPEs in Africa are member-based organizations that are largely involved in promoting, monitoring, and evaluation as a practice, discipline, and profession. The associations provide space for community of practice, offering a sense of belonging and professional identity to members who practice M&E. So the VOPEs do this by defining evaluation, developing standards and guidelines for practice, and formulating competence frameworks for evaluators. So in this way, they are playing a very important role in the whole arena of evaluation. These VOPEs play a critical role in defining the practice of evaluation and raising awareness of its value for development. They work with many stakeholders, including governments, parliaments, civil society, and communities. So what are the challenges that we have faced? Of course, some of the challenges at the regional level and others at the national level. I would like to say we have seen weak organization and administrative capacity and financial resources to promote evaluation on the continent. By and large, you find a lot of the resources that are used from donor agencies. We need to make sure that we have resources that kind of come from the African countries. The second challenge is the small membership base, where we see this base is full of volunteers who are often not willing to undertake heavy tasks to promote the profession, and this affects the pace of program implementation. The third challenge is the VOPE capacity to develop strategy. Drawing from the fact that many of them have volunteers, it becomes a challenge to consistently work on strategies that will take us forward. So these are challenges we have to work on. The other challenge is inadequate capacity at AFREA to coordinate all the M&E activities in Africa. We are trying very hard to look for partners to help us finance some of the things that we're doing, because we want to partner with the VOPEs and have a very good value proposition as to why they pay a membership fee to AFREA. The last challenge is the slow progress in conceptualization and uptake of the Made in Africa approach to evaluation. So I would like to conclude by saying that both AFREA and the national VOPEs remain important players for strengthening M&E ecosystem in Africa. As presented recently by Ms. Adeline Sibanda in the inaugural Dr. Sule Galiba Memorial Lecture at the 10th AFREA Conference, we should continue to strengthen the Made in Africa approaches on the continent through paying greater attention to issues like addressing the Made in Africa philosophical and theoretical foundations to make clear the concept and its uniqueness. We need to continue funding Made in Africa research. And it's important that when we are doing all capacity building, we should also target the evaluation commissioners and evaluators. So in that way, we should be able then to grow the entire ecosystem. I thank you so much for listening to me, and I hope you learned something from this video. Thank you.